Hello, this is what I wore this week, and well, I should say last week, but I'm filming this on Friday, so it's still technically this week. If I sound a bit blocked up, it's because I just have a cold, so I probably sound maybe a bit deeper than normal, I don't know. So I have a horrible cold. Happily it's not COVID, but anyway, I can still smell, so that's good. Now, so we'll start with Saturday. So Saturday last week, I was very excited to see that Fragrantica finally have the Elizabeth Arden White Tea Eau de Parfum listed on there with the notes, which are, to be honest, they're different from the notes that are on the Elizabeth Arden site, but it kind of makes sense because Elizabeth Arden said this is basically a stronger version of the original white tea, and the original white tea has way more notes than they actually talked about on the site. So I'll read you the notes that Fragrantica have, and it does make sense. So top notes: Italian mandarin, clary sage and sea notes. Middle notes: white tea, mate, jasmine, rosewater. Base notes: tonka bean, amberwood and musk. So I think I said when I originally talked about this does smell like the original white tea, but slightly less woody, slightly more feminine, and there's a lot of rose. But it's not like super strong, it's not super sweet, it's not changed in a huge way. It's just a very nice, smooth, comforting, beautiful, rose-watery, rosy version of the original white tea, and I find this one way more comfortable because I find the original white tea to lean a bit unisex for my liking, because I find that it's a little bit too woody for me. I absolutely love the ginger lily one, and that's the one that replaced the original for me, and I still do love that one. But this is a very cozy and comforting perfume to me. I just think it's just so gentle, and yeah, cozy is the best word I can think to describe it, because it's not that it's massively warm, it just is comforting. Perfect for bedtime, perfect for on days when you feel a bit rough. I probably should have put this on today, but the reason I put it on Saturday is because I wrote a little review on Fragrantica, and I was like, okay, I have only tried this in warmer weather. I don't know, I can't comment on what it will be like in chillier weather, so I thought I'd try it on Saturday, and it definitely, it wasn't as strong. It lasted okay, like maybe 4 hours or something, which for white tea is not bad because they're very light perfumes. It's so pretty though, it's so pretty. The rose and the tonka bean are just like so pretty together with that tea. But yeah, I mean, I have to say I think this is better in hot weather, so I'm probably going to put this to one side for warmer weather. It makes sense for such a light perfume, you know, because I don't think it was at its best in the cold weather. I could only really notice it when I got close to my skin, and it became a skin scent way quicker than the last time that I wore it when it was warmer. So yeah, so I'd say that's a good like spring summer perfume, and maybe not such a good autumn winter one. So in the evening, by the time that had worn off, I just decided to put this little guy on because I haven't worn it for absolutely ages, because it's so sweet. I can't cope with it when it's hot weather or even warm weather. So as soon as it was a bit chilly, I thought, oh, let me put on some of this guy. This is Katy Perry's Mad Love, and this is a strawberry perfume. So I have maybe like 2 perfumes in my collection I consider to be strawberry perfumes. I think it's just 2. One of them is SJP NYC, which is like a nice, still syrupy, but much more kind of summery perfume. And this one's like a creamier perfume, almost like a milkshake or something. So the notes in this one are top notes of sorbet, strawberry, apple, pink grapefruit, middle notes of floral notes, peony and jasmine, base notes of coconut, musk and sandalwood. And I would these are the Fragrantica notes, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is like a kind of coconut strawberry sorbet, you know. I don't know, you know, sometimes they separate out notes that are actually the same thing, so quite often it will be like, you know, there's like a kind of ice cream note and a like mint note or something, but actually it's mint ice cream. And sometimes they, you know, you don't quite get an idea of what it's going to smell like. But anyway, this one, I would say when you first spray this, it's a little bit screechy and a little bit cheap smelling, but it maybe is 5 minutes max until it starts to dry down into a very nice creamy, coconutty, ice creamy kind of smell. And it, well, yeah, I mean, it kind of smells like a strawberry ice cream made with coconut milk or something. So it's very sweet, but it's very smooth, and it's not like horribly beastly strong once it's dried down. When you first spray it, is a little bit like, is this made for children, and why is it so like, synthetic's probably not the word, but it's just a little bit felt a bit like an attack on my nostrils. But as soon as it dries down, it's so pretty, quite gentle, just really nice. It lasts for maybe 3 hours before I can't really sense it anymore. But it was really fun to wear it because I haven't worn it for ages, and it is very, very girly. It's really cute. This is Mad Love by Katy Perry. Let's put that over there. Then on Sunday, oh, beautiful bottle, terrible sprayer, fabulous juice. This is Stella McCartney Stella Pop. This is the original Stella Pop, and this is a frangipani, tuberosy, bubblegummy, girly, but very fresh, light, and ever so slightly green perfume. Now, I really love this one. It's an absolute classic. So the top notes here are tomato leaf, green mandarin, violet leaf. I forgot to mention violet. I definitely get a lot of violet with this. I think it's probably violet and tuberose that I'm kind of sensing, and the frangipani makes it kind of a little bit sweet and creamy and even more bubblegummy. So then middle notes, tuberose, frangipani, violet. Base notes, musk, sandalwood and cedar. And I haven't really thought about it before, but yeah, because I really like sandalwood, I probably don't notice it massively all the time, but I do get a decent amount of sandalwood with this as well. But it's a very creamy, powdery, yummy sandalwood, but the mandarin and the tomato leaf and the violet keep this super bright, so it's kind of it's kind of spring-like, but I really like it in autumn because I find it a little bit sweet and I find it a little bit too much sometimes. So I don't really like this in hot weather. I like it in cooler weather much more. And what I will say about this, interesting, also in hot weather it doesn't last too long. In cool weather, so when I wore this the other day, I just decided to put it on in the morning, and normally I wear this in the evening, to be honest, but I wore it in the morning. It's because when I was talking to you about it on my wedding week, when I'd worn it like in the evening, I was very much like, oh, I'm going to wear this, and then I just sort of didn't wear it that day, so I've been sort of craving wearing it again. So I put it on, and I couldn't put anything else on for the rest of the day because I could smell it on my neck all day until I went to bed. I reckon I put it on at 11 in the morning, and someone's really started drilling, what a surprise. So I went to bed maybe probably from 11 to 11, 12 hours, and I could still smell it on my neck. And I couldn't just smell it on my hair. I did a test, especially because I knew I was going to talk about it. I rubbed my hand across my neck and then smelt my hand, and I could still smell Stella Pop on my neck. So it's a skin scent by that point, but you will be able to smell it on yourself, and if you cuddle up to anyone, they'll be able to smell it on you too. So I mean, it's such exceptional value. You can get like 100 ml of this for under 20 quid right now, and considering it's been discontinued, that's absolutely bonkers. Like, I think it's such a good perfume. So anyway, Stella Pop, gorgeous. I always try to get it so you can see how cool the colour is. I should get a little bit of colour on that. It's such a beautiful one. And then, oh, quick sniff. This is so pretty. I have actually made a video of all 4 of this collection. Oriflame, Feel Good. This is the loved up one. As you can see, I mean, they're so cool with this. I mean, it's not in focus probably, but they've got like the matching, the little tubes that you spray through. They match the colour of the theme of the bottle. So this has got that beautiful kind of, I mean, what colour would you call it? Kind of maroony, beautiful kind of, maybe like a plummy red. It's just so pretty. Sort of burgundy-ish, I guess. God, I'm really struggling to pick a colour here, aren't I? Anyway, you can see it. This one, the notes listed for this which there's probably more, but whatever, I don't know. It says plum, black pepper and sandalwood. I'm so sorry if you can hear that high-pitched drilling sound, it's very irritating. So this one, I find this to be mainly fruit, mainly plum. So it's not a plum the way that like you get Dior plum, you know, so it's not like a Poison style very syrupy kind of sexy plum. It's called Loved Up, but I don't think it's like a sexy plum. It's not a dark plum, it's a very bright berry like plum. It's a very juicy bright plum, you know. And the black pepper and sandalwood, you don't really get masses of that, and I would say that in the dry down it just gives it a warmth. So like, you know, like the same way that if you put black pepper in food, even if you kind of don't taste it and think, oh, that's peppery, it gives it just a general lovely warmth in like the base of whatever you're eating. And this is how I feel about this perfume. It's super bright and berryish. It's a really lovely fruity perfume. And it's sweet, it's definitely sweet. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of vanilla in here, to be honest. And it's a similar vanilla that's in the Chill Out one from this range. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of that vanilla in here, but it's not super vanilla-y, it's mainly a delicious, what's it called? It's mainly a delicious plum, but I mean, if I would sort of know it's plum, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was also like blackberry or raspberry or, you know, some other kind of like dark fruits of the foresty kind of berries going on here. That's, yeah, fruits of the forest is probably what I'm thinking with this one. Oh my god, that goddamn building work constantly. It's so pretty. I really enjoyed wearing this one. It's really nice, and I think if you like really fruity fragrances, this is a really nice one to try. It was only a matter of time before I was going to start coughing, I'm afraid. So that's Loved Up. So where are we? That one was Monday. And then Tuesday, exciting, the Prerogative Ego arrived that I managed to get on eBay, and I did check, and you can still get this. I made sure I put up a video on, well, it'll be going up today actually, so I made sure I made a video to talk about this one before, so you know, a bit more in detail. So pretty, really nice. This is basically just a fruitier version of the original Prerogative. So this is the original Prerogative. I think it's got pretty much identical notes, but it's way stronger in the apricot and the goji berries, and particularly I can sense the goji berries because I have some goji berry perfumes where that is like the dominant note, and this really, I can smell that goji berry really strongly. So the notes in this one: apricot, sandalwood, amberwood, coffee, arum lily, saffron, goji berries, pink pepper. I think I can sense a bit of saffron, tiny bit of sandalwood, tiny bit of coffee. It's still got that kind of creamy, slightly caramelly vibe that you get with the original Prerogative, but it's I think it's a bit stronger. Excuse me, and I think it lasts a bit longer. So again, like I wore this to work. I took like just a little, because this is a big 100ml. I took just a little decant of it to work, and I think I maybe put it on my wrist again at lunchtime, and then I resprayed it all when I left, which is pretty normal for me in perfumes. But I didn't need to put anything else on the evening. I just wore this the whole day. Like, and it's super cozy, warm and lovely, and all of the Prerogatives are warm. They're really warming, yummy, lovely perfumes, and they don't smell too plasticky. Although having said that, I did just get a little sample of Rave, and that one has that pencil shavings vibe to me. I've also made a video of that. So that'll come up at some point, but this one I really like, and if you can get it, I do recommend you trying this. If you like normal Prerogative and you have that, you don't need this one really. I don't think it's like essential to have this. I think you could easily just have the original Prerogative and you'd be happy with that. If you're like a collector, or if you just like the idea of having like a super fruity version of that because you really like the original, which the more I wear it, the more I love it. So I sort of just, I'm happy to have this one. I'm really, really happy to have it. And you can get it on a number of different websites still in the UK. So, and you can get it on Fragrance X as well. Like there's quite a few places you can actually still get this. So I got it on eBay just because I was taking a bit of chance and I didn't want to spend loads of money. But you can easily get this from somewhere else. And get it brand new. So yeah, like I said, if you like the original Prerogative, you're totally safe with this, but you probably don't need it. So then when I started to feel like I had a bit of a cold, so I just got this one out just because I'd made a video. I'd worn this one and then I'd made a video of the whole thing. So I was thinking about it and I was like, oh yeah, all right, let's just do that one then. Let's just wear that again. I'm just trying to think if there's a good way of me positioning that. Probably not. But anyway, so Chill Out by Chill Out by Oriflame. This is very simple. It's lavender, vanilla, cedarwood, and you can smell all of those things, and there's not really much else going on. It's very pretty, but it's very unisex. And I wore it to work, and to be honest, like I think I'm probably gonna save this one for like evenings or for when I'm at home and I want to be cozy, because it didn't feel like a particularly, I think it just made me feel a bit too cozy and like chilled at work. You know, I've got work I've got to get on with, so it's probably not the best thing if you want to be really productive, but I already felt really rough, so you know, sometimes you just gotta chill the hell out. So that's that one. So that was Wednesday. So Thursday. Oh yeah. All right. Thursday I gave this one a try. So this is something I got in a haul from, is it Makeup UK? I think it's Makeup UK. So it came from abroad, which is whatever, all the de Varens stuff I've tried is from abroad. So this is part of the Flirt range. If you remember, I've got the Mojito Love, and this is Musk Sexy. So nothing sexy about this in my point of view, but I think the sexy thing about it is that it's just a skin musk. It's like, this is very much a your skin but better kind of smell. Totally. But I wanted to try it out. I needed to wear it for like, I wanted to wear it to work specifically so I could really get a bit of a sense of it, because when you first spray this, it smells identical to my Ulric de Varens cotton musk, like identical. And I have tried them together and I could not tell the difference for maybe the first hour. Like, it's got that sweet, slightly cotton candy, clean, musky, powdery smell, but then this one dries down to be iris. So the notes in this are top notes iris, middle notes powdery notes orris, base notes musk. And it's been a very long time since I smelt the original, the only Glossier perfume. So when that first came out, I had a little sample of it and I remember smelling it, and at the time, I mean, it was so long ago now, I don't even really remember what it smells like, but I know it's like a powdery iris and it has notes very similar to this. So this, when it really dries down, you get way more of that iris. So I'm currently trying to work out if I want to keep this, especially because it's so small, it doesn't take up as much room as the cotton musk that I've got. But this one's kind of more interesting because you get what is basically cotton musk, and then the more it dries down, the more you get that powdery iris. So I think maybe if you like Glossier You, this might be a good one to try because it's so cheap. It's like $5, I think. I mean, it's only a little bottle, but I mean, the Glossier You is like super expensive for what it is. But a nice little musky skin scent, I'd say. A musky, powdery, irisy skin scent. So that one's quite worth a look, I would say. But then in the evening, I sampled this guy because I'd already smelt it. This, honestly, Elizabeth and James Nirvana, and this is Nirvana White. So I got all of the Nirvanas from Fragrance X when I did my last Fragrance X order. Now, obviously I'm interested in perfume, so I wanted to smell all of this range anyway, and I increasingly see people talking about stuff of theirs that's good for autumn, winter. Excuse me, because of the like the bourbon and the amethyst and the black one, which is sandalwood. But more than anything, if I'm being honest, I just adore these bottles. I think they're some of the most stylish, chic, beautiful bottles that I've seen in a really long time, and so I really was hoping that I'd love one of these. You'll see how I feel about all of these because I have made little videos about all of them, and I have all of 6 that are available from Elizabeth and James in the Nirvana line. And I'm an idiot, and I managed to film little videos for every single one of them with my microphone strapped to my top, but I forgot to plug it in, so they're all a bit quiet, I'm afraid. So what I might do, just to save your ears, I might upload them all on the same day, so that if you want to watch them all, like, you can just watch them in a little batch, you know, so you don't have to, so it's not going to jump from like a really quiet one to a really loud one. And there was a couple of Burberrys that I did on that. Anyway, it's so annoying. I'm so annoyed with myself, but anyway. And in that one, what I was saying was that this is really interesting, but I needed to give it like a full wear test, because actually when I say interesting, what I mean is it's not interesting at all. It's very plain and it's very clean, and I didn't think it was anything special, but I needed to like try it on my skin because the very deep dry down of it is kind of nicer. So I thought, okay, I need to give it a full wear test. So the notes in this are Muguet, Peony and Musk. I kind of often find Peony really sharp, so it doesn't really surprise me that I find this one really sharp when you first spray it, and it stays sharp for quite a long time, because I think this just smells like rosé wine, and then dries down into something a bit more musky, slightly sweeter. But yeah, I've said before that I quite often smell things that I think just smell like white wine, and this one, I think because of that peony, I think it's more like rosé, but it's like, it's very clean. And I recently got, what's it called, Gail Heyman's Delicious Feelings, the new eau de toilette, and that one I think is just, I think I might prefer that in terms of just a clean white t-shirt, like soapy smell. This one is shampooy to me because of that sharpness. It's got like a, yeah, it's just got that kind of like more detergenty soap vibe that I just don't like at all. So I mean, it's not offensive, and actually it's very light. It's a skin scent, but you can, I think you can totally sense it. So when I was wearing this one, I was very aware I was wearing it, like it didn't disappear. It's I think it lasted on me for maybe like 4 or 5 hours, but it was pretty much a skin scent right from the go. But anyway, yeah, I don't want a bottle of this, but I will put up all of the reviews I've got of these guys ASAP. Now then, okay, so, ooh, new ones. This is exciting. I might try and move things around a little bit. I'm just trying to see if you can actually, push things out of the way in a way that allows you to still see some of it. That one's smaller. Let's move those around. Because I've got one that isn't a new smell to me. It's not a blind buy because I already had the rollerball, and I did say that I'd ordered a bottle. So, yay, Burberry Brit for her. This is the Eau de Parfum, and special sales. So this is because this was unwrapped, so that's why this one was cheap. This is, yeah, damaged goods, first quality. So the wrapping was gone, and this is a 50ml, and this was £20 from Notino. But to be honest, the non-damaged ones are 25 quid, so it's not a massive difference. So I wore this morning. When I woke up, I wanted something sweet and comfortable, and this, but you know, not too over the top, and that is exactly what this is. So This is not the old formulation, and to be honest with you, they had a picture of the old formulation, so I thought that's the one I was getting. But it's fine, because this is, I think, the version that I had in that rollerball, and you never know, the other one might have been too strong for me, because this is not a strong perfume. It lasts quite nicely. I think it was on for like 4 hours, and then I had a shower, so I could still smell it. Oh, that's a firm lid. It's really pretty, this one, but it's light. I think this is like a really safe blind buy, this perfume, unless you don't like almond and you don't like lime. If you like those two things, and to be honest, even just the general combination of it, I think is really pretty. So the notes in this guy: top notes almond, lime and pear, middle notes candied almond, sugar and peony, base notes vanilla, tonka bean, amber and mahogany. Excuse me. So there's a lot of almond, there's a lot of lime. I think the pear stops the lime being too sharp, and the sugar and the candied almond stop the lime being too sharp, but the peony and the lime, and probably to a certain extent the pear, stop the almond, the tonka and the vanilla and the amber being too sweet. So it's a perfect balance. There is I mean, I don't massively sense huge amounts of wood in this. I think it's a very gentle wood, very gentle mahogany that's just really nicely blended. Of all the Burberrys that I've smelt, this is by far and away the nicest one that I've smelt, like miles ahead of everything else. I've had a couple of samples recently that I really, really like. I think they're both really nice. Neither of them smell massively original to me, although one of them, that's because it's a flanker of the original. The other one is because I already have a perfume that smells just like it. So I will put that in the reviews. Although I think I realised with one of them afterwards, so I'll have to write it in there. But this one I think it's sweet, not too sweet. It's light. It's fresh while also not being too sharp or green. It's just really pretty. Like, it's such an easy perfume to wear, so really, really chuffed with that one. I really, really like it, and I will definitely be keeping it because I think it's delicious. So there we go. It'd be weird now if I didn't keep that, wouldn't it, considering that I'd already tested it in a rollerball and I specifically bought it. So the one I'm wearing now, though, so I wore this one in the morning. I'm not at work today because I've got a hideous cold and I don't want to give it to everyone. So hence my weird voice. So I'm at home, and that gave me the opportunity to just not get dressed for ages. And then I had my shower, and I thought I would try this one as a full wear, because I'd tried it on my skin, but I was like, I want to try it as a full wear. Okay, this one, I'm smelling it off a paper strip, but I'm wearing it. This is Guess 1981 Indigo for Women. Now, I've had this in my wish list for so long because I saw it a really long time ago on Shana J's channel, and she did a really good job of selling it, but she was quite clear that it might not be up everyone's street. And I've been looking at it, and I've been waiting for a good price basically, and I managed to get this. It was all wrapped up, you know, all new and fresh. I got it on eBay for about £13–14 delivered for a little tiny 30ml. This is eau de toilette. You can notice it's an eau de toilette. A lot of the Guess ones are quite light, which is probably why I'm so fond of them. I've got a few Guess perfumes now that I'm really, really into, and they're all really infinitely wearable. Like, they're light, they're fresh. Even when they're like more syrupy sweet, they're still light. They're not cloying, they're really pretty. So this particular one, let's see, there's notes of top notes: fig, sea notes and lilac, middle notes of iris, blue lotus, narcissus, base notes of red wine, Pinot Noir grapes, Atlas cedar and Haitian vetiver. So you can probably sense from that why I was a little bit hesitant and why it's been in my wish list for so long before I actually bit the bullet and blind bought it. You can't smell this in shops, like there's nowhere that sells this kind of thing anymore. So I also saw Ksenia talking about this one. Now, she also bought it because of Sean J, and she was kind of like, there's something magical about it, but I don't know if I'll be able to wear it. So because she likes way sweeter things than me generally, she has quite different tastes from me, except for, as it turns out, in guest perfumes, because the guest perfumes that she tends to buy and quite like are the guest perfumes that I also quite like most of the time. So I tried this one on my skin and I was like, it's got that guest vibe to it. Now, it doesn't list musk, but there's something about this that reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me slightly of my Guest Dare, in that there's something about the dry down, there's something about this perfume that gives me like a beautiful soapy musk vibe. It's really pretty, but also randomly it reminds me of Lalique Amethyst, but in a much more wearable way that I like better, because it's less herbal. But it has, because it's got so the fig gives it an earthiness, but the red wine and the Pinot Noir grapes gives it like a sharp fruitiness, but like a rich, sharp fruitiness, you know, and it gives it that berry vibe. The C notes, I think, are just keeping it kind of quite bright. And then I get the lilac and the iris. I'm not really getting much lotus. I don't know if I'd recognise Narciso, so I can't really comment on that, but I can recognise the lilac and I can definitely recognise iris in this. And it's not hideously sharp. Like when you first spray it, yeah, it's like, whoa, that is red wine, that is sharp. And you know, it kind of calms down quite a lot, and it feels to me like it gets a bit musky, but it doesn't list musk, so I don't know. But you definitely get a very gentle wood in the base, but it's not too woody for me, which is unusual. The only thing I'd say is this is definitely like a warm weather perfume for me. This is not, like, it's a bit chilly, I think, at the moment for me to be wearing this, because I normally wear things that are leaning a little bit sweeter at this time of year. So and to be fair, I did have on Burberry Brit, which is quite sweet this morning, so I'm loving it. But I'm also recognising that this is going to go straight into my spring summer perfume kind of lists rather than my autumn winter, because it's just it's a light and bright kind of yummy perfume that doesn't require like loads of sweetness, and therefore, you know, it doesn't need to be worn in autumn winter. But I like this one. This is a really successful blind buy. I think it's nice, and also it's such a cute little bottle. It's so cute. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. I think it's delicious. So the last couple of things I'm going to say is that I've got a few things planned, so I'm going to carry on with my autumn winter, but I also decided I'm going to do a and Burberry Brit actually is what made me want to do this, is I think I'm going to make a little video of like really affordable kind of £30 and under perfumes that will make good Christmas gifts, and I wanted to try and get that done like the end of this month, so that people, if they want to go out and buy some, I've got time to get them delivered before Christmas. And what I'll do is I'll try to get stuff that is that you can get in the UK and you don't have to get shipped from abroad, because like Burberry Brit is one of those perfumes that I've smelt, and my mum would kill me if she heard me say Burberry Brit. Burberry Brit, there's a T on the end of that word. So it's one of those perfumes that I can't imagine there's many people that don't like it, you know. I think it's a really easy wear, and I'm very fussy, and I'm really fussy about almond perfumes because most of the time they're too much for me. They're just way too sweet and cloying, whereas there's a perfect balance going on with Burberry Brit. So I think it just inspired me. I thought I would happily buy this for most people I know. I would happily like give this to someone and they would and assume that they'd probably like it. Obviously not everyone will, but I think it's one of the safer blind buys that I've bought. So yeah, I'm going to make that list. And also I just want to mention that I went to John Lewis this week because one of my lovely friends gave me a voucher, a £50 voucher, when I got married. Now obviously that's supposed to be for me and my husband. However, a lot of the presents we got for our wedding were whiskey. Really beautiful, nice whiskey, very much appreciated, but that's because he loves whiskey. I don't drink whiskey, so we got that voucher and I said, is it cool if I just spend this one because you've got all that whiskey? And he was like, yeah, of course. So I went, the thing with John Lewis is they don't do cheap perfumes. You can't buy cheap perfumes from John Lewis, really. So I was like, I'm going to go and test out the things that are more expensive. So I had another go with Black Opium Extreme, and I'm just like, do you know what? I'm just not that keen on the profile of Black Opiums in general. Good grief. Can you hear the madness outside? So I'm just like, no, that's off my list. I don't need that. I've got other perfumes with coffee in that I much prefer, and I've got things that I want to ask like sample sets for Christmas, so I can like see if I can find my perfect coffee. And I also tried the other one that was in my list of if someone else will buy it for me, I might have it, which was Sunflower Pop by Floral Street, and nope, I haven't changed my mind about that one. That one is just pure like well, I've got the notes actually here. So mandarin orange, passion fruit, bergamot, Bellini, plum blossom orris, honey, musk and amber. And for the first 10 minutes, glorious, citrusy, bright, happy Bellini smell with honey in it. Beautiful. After 10 minutes, honey, musk, amber. That's it. And it just, I mean, that bit lasts for ages, but as a very subtle, you have to smash your face into your arm kind of smell. And it's 50 quid for like the smallest bottle, so no way. It's 25 quid for a 10 ml. I don't think so. So that's off my list as well. And then, because some lovely person in my comments when I was talking about Narciso Rodriguez Musc Noir, excuse me, and saying that one smells like poison, but I can't get on with it because of that musk again, and it was still very smoky. And I've got poison, so I don't need it. Someone in my comments said I should try the Musc Noir Rose, and I've seen loads of people talking about this. I am aware that people are like, oh my god, it's so amazing, it's so sexy, it's so fabulous. I sprayed it on, I got the lady to spray it onto my arm, and I'd made sure I didn't have any other perfumes on, you know, so I wasn't gonna like mess it up. First spray, you do get a bit of that poison style plum, and I was like, nice, because it's sweeter, it hasn't got that smoke in it, because it's plum, pink pepper, bergamot. That's the top notes. The middle notes are musk, rose, tuberose. Base notes are vanilla. However, very quickly that vanilla takes over everything, and I thought it was so overly sweet, massively cloying, and I find that often with vanilla and rose combos anyway. So the mixture of, because still like I said, I got that plum at first, very quickly that Narciso Rodriguez musk that massively just turns into a swimming pool chlorine smell on me. That happened quite quickly, and then I was like, I'm never going to buy this, but I can maybe see why people like it. And then once it dried down and turned like full vanilla, it actually made me sick. I could not wait to get that off my skin. And because it's quite sweet and strong, sweet and syrupy, maybe not strong, I don't think any of the Narciso ones seem that strong. It lasted the whole way home. It lasted when I got home. I had to scrub it off my arm. I just found it sickening, like absolutely sickening. It's just the kind of vanilla that I don't like. And when vanilla is mixed with rose, oh no. I mean, yeah, I guess I can see why. I don't know. Actually, no, I can't really see why other people like it, because by the time it dries down to be like a super strong vanilla scent, I don't think it smells original anymore at all. I do like, although it doesn't smell original, I understand why people might like the Narciso Rodriguez Musc Noir, because I think that is a pretty perfume, because it smells like a light baby sister of poison. But this is interesting for the first 5 minutes. And then after that, it's just a vanilla perfume with a bit of rose. And there's a million perfumes that are vanilla perfumes with a bit of rose. I think this is like 50 quid for the smallest bottle. I'm just like, no, I don't get it. I just don't get on with Narciso Rodriguez perfumes. I cannot. They're massively hyped up on YouTube, and I just cannot get on board with them. I just have to accept that there are some houses that are not for me, and Narciso Rodriguez is definitely one of them. So is Versace. I cannot get on board with Versace. I don't own any Versace. I've never smelled a Versace that I like, not since I was literally a kid when I had Versus, you know. So I just, yeah, it's just not for me. But again, like I can totally recommend Musc Noir if you get on with the musk from Narciso Rodriguez. But I would always say, if you're going to spend 50 quid on a small bottle of perfume and you want a delicious smoky plum, get Dior Poison. Just get Dior Poison. Like it's maximum 10 quid more expensive than that, and you can probably get it on deal for like for a smaller bottle. And it is infinitely more interesting, like infinitely. It's stronger, it's going to last way longer, and it's got a more beautiful bottle. It's just way more interesting. Like there's so much going on in Poison. Like anyway, I sound like I'm ranting, but I'm just, you know, I tried it. Someone told me to try it. I tried it, and I don't mean any disrespect to people who like it. I do realise that like I'm unusual because I often don't like vanilla perfumes at all, and I just like my skin chemistry does not work with Narciso Rodriguez musks. So I do realise that I have quite different taste to a lot of other perfume reviewers. I already knew that, right? And if you watch me, you probably can see I've got quite different taste to most other reviewers. I don't like patchouli, I don't like vanilla, I don't like cedar, I don't, you know, there's so many things that I don't really like very much, and I have to be really careful of. So that is why my channel is called Skin Sense for Fusspots. I'm very fussy. I'm also quite opinionated. So again, I don't mean to insult anyone, but Narciso Rodriguez, frankly, everyone else can have those and smell like that, because it's just not my vibe at all. But I've got loads of other things coming up. I've got so many videos. I've got like a backlog that you'd be just horrified by, or possibly thrilled by if you watch me all the time and you actually like my videos. But anyway, this is what I wore this week, and I've, yeah, like I said, come back because next week it will be a whole different bunch, but there's going to be loads of stuff in between, and hopefully I'll have my next autumn winter perfumes up. I don't know which one it's going to be yet, but yeah, I'm just loving doing them. They're really fun.